Hey fam, I want you to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Roland S. Martin. And don't forget to turn on your notifications. Right now, I want to go to the rapper Mysonne, who knew Nipsey well. Mysonne, how you doing, brother?
Roland, how you doing, man?
I was talking to Tamika Mallory earlier. You're a very close friend, and we were talking about the fact that just a number of people, folks like yourself and The Game and Snoop, I mean, the tears that have been flowing from folks in the hip-hop community over this tragic shooting.
Yeah, Nip was a rare spirit, Roland, man. He was not only just an entrepreneur or a rapper, he was so genuine, and you can tell he was here for a purpose, man. And it hurts when the purpose was to uplift his community, to uplift the culture itself, to empower, to educate, and to see him gunned down in the vestibule of business that he opened up in his community was so disheartening to me, man.
And talk about that. He could have easily left. He could have easily just left.
Yeah, but that wasn't it, man. If you watch countless of interviews since the first interview that you see in it, man, it was about empowering and educating the people where he was from. He understood, the pitfalls we had to deal with, that we come from marginalized communities. He understand that we have been poisoned against each other. He grew up in the gang culture, and he wanted to change the narrative of what gangs represented. He wanted to change the narrative of what our communities look like. So he understood, in order to empower, they can't be what they can't see. And he wanted these young kids to see an entrepreneur, see somebody that came from where they came from, and let them know it was possible, man. So he refused. He was one of those people that said, we ain't trying to leave the community. We trying to rebuild the community.
Mysonne, how do we heal? How do we move? How do we move beyond this?
I think we don't move beyond it. I think we move through it. We have to go through this. There's a lot of trauma that we're dealing with. And, we've marched, Roland, me and you have been at numerous marches, man, where the police have killed us, and we march for justice. And I think this is a time that we hold ourselves accountable, especially us in the hip-hop community, us in the black community, us as young hip-hop artists, young individuals. We hold ourselves accountable and say, this is a time we march for unity. We can't let Nip's death be in vain. I've been on a conference with a lot of other rappers, Meek Mill, Game, Tip, and we've all realized that this can't just end with R.I.P. to Nipsey and we go home after his funeral. This has to be a moment in which we stop kings from killing kings, man. Our young people don't value each other's lives, and we understand it's systemic and we understand where it comes from. But at this point, we have to utilize this time to be able to empower and teach and show each other how to love each other.
I'm having some technical issues here, so folks, that's why you're only hearing my voice, and so I'm trying to get this prepared. Mysonne, last question for you. You talked about, in terms of the trauma, I was visiting my high school today, and I was talking to some of those students there, and that's what we are seeing. We're seeing young black kids, unfortunately, in this generation. If you ask them how many of their classmates have they seen killed, this isn't like one or two. You're talking about 10, 20, 30, and it goes beyond Chicago. And so do you believe that sure, we talk about black on black crime, but we have to address this evil. We have to address this virus that is in our community because it is taking literally the brothers who could reach the next generation to sort of end this sort of stuff. Your thoughts?
And I think you're exactly right, man. I've always been criticized for the marches that we do. Oh, y'all always march against this, but y'all don't march when when we killing each other in the projects and when we doing this and that. And and my response has always been, unfortunately, until we end what's going on in the community, till we end poverty. Poverty equals violence. But when you look at someone like Nipsey and how he was viewed amongst all his peers in the world, just understanding what he meant to this culture, you know, I think we have a very, very, very important moment right now, because Nipsey wasn't someone who was engaged in street activity. He was someone who had evolved from that and was showing us how to do better. So we have to look at that and understand this is a moment for us to identify that trauma and to deal with that trauma, because his face and what he meant to the culture is so big that now we can galvanize behind that reality, behind what is going on in our communities. We visibly can see how someone who definitely did not deserve to die, definitely the way he died, was killed, and we have to stand up and speak out against that.